All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of the Alchemy Podcast. I'm here with not only an exciting guest, but a dear friend who I've known we've been homies for a while, Meg.
And we go, it's our OG homies.
OG.
We go back to what you were at USU, and I think I met you.
Yeah. So I'm here with Meg Del Toro. You go by Megan now.
Megan. One of the two. Mostly Meg.
Mostly Meg.
Yeah.
You're Meg to me.
I know.
Yeah.
And let's keep it at that. That's fine. That works too.
Meg, we have a very similar journey. I was actually thinking about this.
I know.
That our journey is pretty similar because we both were savages and door to door.
Truth.
You were an absolute killer. And then we went through like a spiritual awakening, plant medicine phase. And now we've kind of transitioned and now we're like facilitators and we're very helpful to others.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been, and I didn't realize that it was all those things kind of happened around the same time.
Yeah. I mean, they went hand in hand. I mean, you were one of the reasons why the psychedelic journey even happened for me and my awakening there. So yeah.
I want to get into that.
Yeah.
But before, I want to talk, because a lot of people listening to this are in sales.
Yeah.
And not only were you in sales, but you're the top female rep.
I was.
You crushed.
I did crush.
So give the people your best alarm year?
225.
And how many times did you do over 200?
4 years.
4 years, ladies and gentlemen.
225.
4 years, 200 account alarm rep. That's like the best. That's 1%.
Yeah.
You crushed. And I don't even know the answer to this question. I don't even know how you started. You started at Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Right? And who did you work with at Pinnacle?
Trey Warner.
Yeah, Trey, OG.
Yeah, OG Trey, yeah.
Yeah. So when you got recruited, were you like, I don't know about this? Or were you like, oh, this is my thing, I'm going to go crush it?
I mean, a little from column A and a little from column B. I was at the bottom of, I was a whitewater rafting guide before that. I was traveling between Montana and South America, living in a tent, everything I owned in my backpack, and with lots of student loan debt and thinking, how am I going to pay this off and have a real life? And my friend's husband had been at Apex and said, I think you would crush it in sales. So that like stuck with me. And at the end of my rafting season down there, I called him from a payphone in the bottom of South America and was like, hey, what are some companies? And somehow I got Trey Warner's number and called him and said, I want to sell. He's like, he would tell people like, it's the easiest recruiting I ever did. Best money I ever made. Yeah. So I flew home, packed everything up, and 2 days later was in Philly.
2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back in the day, the way the industry is now with like the Vivint product and solar, it kind of tends to go to middle, upper class neighborhoods where there's more money.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the case for you, right?
No, there were like shootings happening in the neighborhoods. I was in the ghetto of Philly, and it was very eye-opening in a lot of ways. But honestly, sadly, it wasn't too far from the poverty I'd just been in the bottom of South America. So I was like, home.
Did you ever feel like you're in danger?
No, but I also like am mildly oblivious to danger at times. I mean, I was hitchhiking over borders and doing things like that. So for me, I was like, it'll all work out. Everything will be just fine. So
talk to me about that, because it feels like, because you have, I see multiple versions of Meg.
Oh yeah.
Right. There's like granola in the mountains, sleeping in the dirt, right? To knocking doors in the hood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how did you make that shift?
I think I have such a resiliency and like fortitude in my mind that when I decide to do something, I'm just going to do it. And come what may, be damned, I'm going to do it and I'm going to conquer it.
Yeah, we have a little inside joke. We call it Full Del Toro.
Yeah.
Right. So where does this come from?
I think it comes from my mom. And I think a lot of hard things that I would deal with when I was growing up. My mom was really good at being like, well, you can either stay mad or you can get over it. It takes more energy to stay mad. Or if we were hiking and it was hard and we'd be complaining, she'd say things like, whiners are wieners and nobody likes that. And so like these little weird sayings would stick with me. And I was like, I'm tough. I can do anything. And so I think the fortitude from that just.
And it sounds like you had the positive self-talk.
Yeah, I think I always did.
You've always had good self-talk, it sounds like. And the self-talk matters a lot, especially in the sales space.
Oh, yeah.
So when you got into the door-to-door space, did you see, I don't know the answer to this. Did
Mm-hmm.
you see instant success or did it kind of take a while for you?
That's hard because I didn't even realize I was having success. My first year I ended at 122 or 123. I missed a pay scale jump by like a couple, and my then manager was like, "Sorry, you're just going to deal with that you missed this pay scale jump." And but I mean, I got my first sell on my first day, and I just kept rolling with it, thinking this is what everybody does. You get a sell a day. That's totally fine and normal. But I compared to everybody else in my office that year, I remember thinking, I'm not very good at this. Like, no one's going to want me back next year. And it wasn't until I got home and people asked me as a rookie, like, what were your numbers? And I was like embarrassed to say like 122. And people were shocked by that. And I think that's when I finally started realizing, wait, I am good.
So you're
at
a little
this.
naive.
Yeah.
You're a little naive,
Yeah.
right? So what was it like when you got paid for the first time?
Oh, it was wonderful. I paid off my car. I remember thinking, I own something. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I walked in and paid $14,000 right away. And it was just like, wow, this is wonderful. Then I paid off my student loans, or at least one of them that year. And I paid off the next one the next year. And it was like, this is it. Like if I can do door-to-door sales, I'll always have money.
Yeah. So tell us about your tenure in door-to-door, because you had a good, because we crossed over for a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
So how long were you at Pinnacle?
Oh, I can't remember what year they went under.
Yeah.
It was that year when everybody switched. We all switched, and I ended up under Puck Hereford at that point, and because the trade didn't end up staying, and I kind of got defaulted over to, or just kind of taken over by Puck, and yeah. But I can't remember. I think that might have been 2011 or 2012.
Yeah. And what were some of the biggest lessons you learned in door-to-door? Because it feels like you've used a lot of those skills and knowledge to kind of create your own business. But like,
Oh yeah.
talk to us about what is it like to be a female in a highly male space, and then not only be a female there, but actually like kick most of the guys' asses.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'll say that was fun. I will say that it taught me how to fail forward. I remember thinking, I didn't realize it at the time, but and I use this in my business now of what can I do to alchemize? I actually used that this morning. Like
Alchemy, shout out Alchemy.
Yeah, shout out Alchemy. But how can I alchemize what I've just learned today? I might have not gotten a sell, but if I don't learn something from this or go back to a customer and make them a customer, then I failed. If I sit down and wallow or cry on the street or I'm not good at this or whatever, or have negative self-talk, then I failed. And I was never going to fail. It wasn't going to be an option. So I think that was the biggest lesson was I'm going to fail forward. Everything is a fail forward. And nothing is actually a fail if I get something out of it. And so, yeah.
You look at it as a learning opportunity, right?
Everything's a learning opportunity.
Did you, because sometimes, and which blows my mind, because when I was at Vivint, I spent a lot of time of like practicing the tactics of sales.
Mm-hmm.
So door approach, presentation, close, like actually what to say and practice those.
Yeah.
And some reps don't really do that. Some are like more like motivation and pump them up and I'm just going to go have high energy.
Mm-hmm.
What was your strategy? You know, how do you make the jump from 112 or whatever it was to 250? Was it more of tactics or was it more mindset for you?
I think it was a little from column A and column B. I sat down and thought, how many days did I just waste my first year? Like people would be like, let's not work today and go to the movies, right?
Would you do that?
I did it twice.
You got off the doors.
Yes. Or they'd be like, let's quit early and go to lunch or something like that. And I would just give in because they were fun and we were having a good time. And there was a lot of play my first year at the same time. And I really enjoyed my group that I was with. My whole team was amazing and it was just fun. So we were all good friends. And so one person's like, let's go to Atlantic City. I'd be like, we should do that.
Yeah.
And so I sat down and thought, wow, I wasted a lot of days, probably about 20 days total is what I think I came up with. And I thought, in those 20 days, I could have had 20 more sales or more. And that would have given me not only one pay scale bump, but like two, right?
2 pay scale bumps.
And then I did the math on how much money I lost by wasting time. And I made the commitment I was never going to do that again. And I never did. I never wasted a single second. My family and friends knew you will not hear from me.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be out there and I'm going to sacrifice my fun, my time, my life, like what am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
And so I committed to myself every single second was going to be something. And it was.
What blew my mind is when my career went on later, how common it is that people don't work.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. Like in my tenure at Vivint, There was one time, and it was the end of summer. Half the team had gone home. I was absolutely exhausted. It was a year I was like doing 350 plus. And there was one time where I got to my area at 2:00 and I pulled over to the park and I went under a tree and I took a nap for like 90 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And I started at 3:30 versus 2. And that's the only time.
How'd you do that day?
I'm sure I sold. I always sell.
I always
sell.
Yeah.
But it was crazy is I realized now that I'm like more into training and I mentor people and work people in the door-to-door space, like a lot of guys just don't work.
Right.
And it blows my mind. I'm like, what do you mean you don't work?
Same.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wouldn't even go to, like, it got to the point where I'm like, I don't even need to go to the meetings in the morning. I won't do that.
Yeah.
That to me got to the point where I was like, I don't need to listen to this. And partly too, I was a lot of times the only female in the office until my last year when I ran my own office and I had a bunch of girls with us. We also had the highest rep per average that year in the office. So I was very proud of that. So it almost felt like it wasn't pertaining to me.
Yeah.
The message, even the pump up everything, I was like, I'm already pumped. I'm already motivated. I already have my strategy. I'm dialed in.
Yeah.
I don't need somebody to tell me how to do this. I know how to do this. So I'm just going to go do it.
What are the advantages of knocking doors as a woman?
People are nicer sometimes, I would say. It's easier to get them to listen. But then you also have some disadvantages too.
What are those?
And a lot of times women had a hard time with another woman coming into their house and telling them things. And so
say more.
I would make sure I was never home alone with their husband when they came home.
Yeah.
Because I always found that the sell did not go through when that would happen. They didn't like that very much.
Wife walks in and there's this hot little 20-year-old girl.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
So I got even then I started dressing even more conservatively. Like I would wear longer shorts and things like that where I'm like, all right, how can I dumb this down? I mean, like
not look hot.
I guess in some ways, like how do I make sure I look really innocent in the way that I'm not coming in here to sleep with your husband. I'm not here for any of that. I'm here to put an alarm in your house and that's it. I don't care about any of the dynamics going on between the two of you. So,
so I'm sure you saw a lot of that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to say the least. And those were little learning lessons each time. I'd be like, oh, okay, got it. I got to do this instead or this instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And I also say the advantages you probably have is that you could get into houses
very quickly
without the husband there, right? You could get in the house.
Yes.
Right.
Because a woman does feel more safe with a woman,
right.
Or at least that's what I found at the time. I don't know if that's still the case, but where I was knocking, that seemed to be it. And then I learned very quickly who was in charge of making the decision and leave or stay and close it. So it was very interesting that way too.
Yeah, and as I look back at my door-to-door career too, the one thing that I really appreciate one of the most is just the influence I had from other leaders.
Yeah.
Right. Some of my most impactful people in my life I met in the door-to-door space. So as you look back at your door-to-door career, who are the people that like really feel like made an impact on not only the way you think, the way you live, but just the way you show up now, in your life? So who have been kind of the biggest leaders in your life?
There's been two. I will say that there's two people that I frequently will even say their sayings now. Puck Hereford Aaron Doria. Those two were
two goats.
Two goats, yeah, really. And they really hit a spot. And I don't even know if they realize how much they influenced me even now, even in my parenting now. Like things will come up. Like one thing Puck would be like, good, better, best. So I'll ask Noah, my daughter, all the time. I'll be like, is that good, better, or best? What do you want here? What are we shooting for? What do we want to get out of this? And she'll, best, I want best. Well, right now we're at good. How are you going to get better? And what does the best look like? So, I mean, those things have stuck with me. Failing forward, that's something I learned from Puck. And then Doria just kind of kept the ball rolling so much. And then the amount of positivity, and he did make me feel seen in a way that none of the other male leaders made me feel like. So, which only fueled the fire for me more. And I was like, all right, I can do this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, love it. I mean, both those guys are absolute legends.
Them.
And I've worked with Puck, love Puck. And Aaron's, close friend, love Doria to the day I die. I do want to chat about that too, because you mentioned like, what is it hard for men to understand? Like from my perspective about how women actually get treated in the workplace. Do you feel like there's stickiness there?
There was. I don't know if there still is.
Yeah.
Back then, I was having to wear like tech shirts because, and not that that's...
What do you mean tech shirts?
Like the Vivint tech shirts, what the technicians were wearing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have female knocking shirts for girls that would actually fit me. They only had shirts that would fit me that came from a tech.
Yeah.
So And it didn't even look like everybody else's shirts. It looked pretty like janky in some ways. And after that year, I remember going in, and this is something circling back that I learned is how to use my voice more. One of the sticky things, jumping forward here, is women, if you complain or even give, and it's not even complaining. If I was to say like, I'd really like some shirts that aren't like Mel's shirts. Can I get some female shirts? And they'd be like, oh, great. So anytime I would use my voice, it almost felt like, oh, great, whiners are wieners, you know? But then the men in there would complain and they'd hop too. I'm like, wait, the squeaky wheel gets the grease with this one. But if I'm a little squeaky, it's like, great, a female is complaining again. And I didn't like that. So I was very choosy about when I'd use my voice so that it never felt like it was whiners or wieners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of growth there for you too over those years. What kept you motivated? I mean, do 200 4 years in a row. Like you can't just go wing it and sell 200 in a year. Like you have to be very clear on what your why is and why you're doing it because the job's just way too hard. Yeah. So what was pushing you through those years?
That's a good question. I think a lot of it was, and this is not true for everybody. I loved it. I loved knocking doors. I loved meeting new people. I loved like the new areas. I loved it. I loved going back to the same areas and then getting customers that weren't like said no to me the year before. I was like, I will make this city.
I'm coming back.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was in Tulare, California for like years. And that's not a very big city. And so like it got fun to be like,
they knew Meg.
I've done that house, yeah, they did. And so people would be like, oh, you're the girl that set up so-and-so last year next door. I was like, yep, that was me. And I actually knocked on your door too. So, but here I am back. But to stay motivated, I think it was part of it is I really liked being the best at things. That's
you are
fun.
competitive.
I am competitive.
Yeah.
I pick and choose when to be competitive. But in that instance, it was fun. I liked beating the guys. And mostly going back, like there was a lot of male-driven incentives. Like you'll win these shoes, and they were men's shoes, and so I would win a pair of men's shoes or a watch that was like dangling off of me, and I was like, but I mostly just wanted to win it so that they wouldn't.
Yeah, so that they wouldn't. Yeah.
Yes, which is kind of, I mean, that's just the competitive nature of me. And then also, like I liked the idea of creating a future for myself.
Yeah.
How am I going to pay for my life? What kind of life do I want? I don't want a life where I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want a life like that. And so that was a big motivator for me too.
And then around, I guess it was probably 2017, we had complete mindset shift. So talk to us about getting pregnant, how that came into your life, and then how your relationship with the job changed after becoming a mother.
I even knocked while I was pregnant for a little bit, but that was before I ended up on bed rest, so I couldn't do that. And so that really shifted things, and it was like, okay, well, what do I want to do with my life now? And then it shifted, even knowing like children bring things out in you. You see your best and your worst, right? And so I started seeing my best, and then I started seeing my worst.
What were those sides?
Short temper, stressed easily. Like I could keep it together for so long, and then there would be like a stressful explosion. I think any parent can relate to that. And it started thinking, I don't want my kids to learn this, because I learned this from my mom. My mom's my hero, by the way. Wonderful woman. So anything I say here, she is my hero. Just understand that. But even down to the point where if I call her now and say, Mom, this was hard for me, she'll be like, what can I do now to help you move through that? Like, she's an amazing woman. So she would have a short temper. She was very militant with her doing things. I mean, the lady could literally snap her fingers. All six of us would stop moving and like look up like, what now? What do we got to do? Right? Like, so it was a very interesting childhood that way, but I didn't want that with my kids. Yeah. And I realized, this is some trauma. How do I deal with trauma? So then I started going through like talk therapy, EMDR therapy, and then psychedelics came into my life. And it was through listening to you talk at dinner one night where I was like...
What dinner was this?
It was Lauren's birthday dinner. It was like at a Thai restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you were telling me that there was some things in your life. I can't even remember what it was, but that doing this helped you resolve that and see pieces that were the real root causes. Yeah. And I thought, that's it. That's what I need. I need to see what the real root cause is here so that I can fix it and not generationally like put this on my children too. I don't want my grandbabies having their mom explode. I don't want my grandbabies not learning how to emotionally regulate and so it was mostly the thought of my grandbabies, not just my children, because whatever I'm doing with my child will then trickle down.
Yeah, pass down.
Yep.
Yeah, generational trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't even know. What was your introduction into the psychedelic space?
I mean, it was you talking about that. And then I went over to some friend's house and did mushrooms.
Yeah, tell us about that.
I took such a light dose that it was just dipping my toe in because I'm very like, I don't put things in my body that I don't know. Yeah, it's scary.
If you've never done psychedelics, like the whole, and you're debating it, like that first go, you're just like, holy crap, it's intense. Yeah. It takes a lot of courage.
It does. It really does. And I wanted to navigate this as best and as smart as possible. I didn't want to be careless with it. So I went over there, took a very light dose, felt into what the space felt like, could understand what was real and not real. And then I did MDMA after that.
Yeah.
So
and that was quite an MDMA experience. Tell us about that.
I was with my ex-partner at the time, and I realized how much it lets your inhibitions down and your ego down, and really lets you look at painful events in a very empathetic and loving way.
Yeah.
And to say things like, I wonder why that happened. Mm-hmm. What could have happened differently? What can I do to help you through this? And even if it's a painful event that happened to me, I could look at my then partner and say, I'm sorry that you felt like that. What can I do to help you move through this? And being able to really show up in absolute empathy without any ego or without any hurt attached to it was beautiful. And it helped me realize, okay, I can get to the root of some of these things. And then after that, I did a deep psychedelic dive with mushrooms on my own and really met some deep trauma there. It was what somebody would call a hard trip.
Yeah,
difficult trip. Yeah.
Difficult trip.
But I have never looked at it as difficult. It was very emotionally painful, but the beautiful resolutions that came out of that were just far and beyond the 6 hours that I was stuck in that.
Yeah,
right?
Do you feel like sharing some of the clarity or whatever you feel comfortable with?
I mean, I'm happy to. It's pretty graphic, if that's all right. I mean, I had been sexually abused as a child, and I had to relive that. I was sitting with my highest self, my current self, and my child self, my 6-year-old self that had to live through that. And I was sitting in front of a movie screen, and my highest self had a remote and was putting pause, play, and just
like game film.
Yes.
Wow.
And she would pause it in the middle of like me watching myself being sexually abused here. And I'd be like, current me was just like cringing and child me's crying. And then she would teach us. And she would teach us how that was going to become a strength for me in my life, what that was going to do for me in my future if I chose to let it. And it was, I mean, I would never go back and change, and this sounds nuts, any of my trauma that I ever experienced, because in that moment I realized, oh my gosh, this is just failing forward in a different way. My trauma became my superpower, and I was really grateful for that. So I lived 6 hours of that.
Yeah. You know, on that, I want to share it to you because I had a similar experience, and I shared in my book too, of being sexually abused when I was a kid. And one thing that's important to talk about with psychedelics is that it doesn't like heal it for you.
No.
It just gives you a new perspective and new angles and like connects dots that you can't see because you're so caught up in the intensity and the emotion and whatever. And it kind of just clears the path.
Yeah.
And it just shows you. And it's still intense. It's still emotionally, the pain, the sadness, the anger is all there. And you kind of move through that.
Yeah.
But it just shows you in a new light, the new perspective. And it's just when you're done, or at least that was for me after you kind of do the work after, it just doesn't carry the same weight.
Yeah.
Anymore.
When I was little, there was a specific song that played once during one of my abuse, situations. And I could never listen to that song ever. It would trigger me, and I'd just be like upset and shaking and anxious and nervous, even as an adult. Like I just couldn't do it. And then there was this day that I was coming home from a sales trip. No, not sales trip. What was it from? I can't remember. It might have been like a retreat that I was on. Mm-hmm. And it was playing in the Uber, and I found myself singing to it and kind of tapping. And then it dawned on me, oh, this is the song. And it doesn't hit this. It doesn't stick. It wasn't anything. It had just transformed this whole situation for me when I did that psychedelic journey, that it wasn't a thing anymore.
Yeah. Didn't have a grip on you anymore.
No, exactly. No grip. And I was able to hear it, listen to it. It's come up again, and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So it resolved.
Beautiful. Yeah. I think it just, I'm a big advocate for psychedelics. I don't nearly dive in as much as I used to. I don't feel like I need to as much, but I think it's an important part of the journey for a lot of people. Like the initial entry into psychedelics, it's intense and it's gnarly, and you're going to go through the dark night of the soul, and you're going to have your ups and your downs.
You won't know what's real and what's not for a minute sometimes.
You're going to lose your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
You're going to go chaotic, right? And it's really intense, and it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But on the other side, what's it like on the other side, Meg?
Calm, peace, clarity, a lot of integration. I think that's a piece that I've commonly seen, especially my business now, is that people will, because it brings things up. You see things you didn't see before, and what are you going to do with this now? Yeah. And if you don't take the time to integrate that into your being and who you are now, that will mess with you too.
Yep.
And then that's when I find people keep going back into the medicine to bypass the integration.
Totally.
And now they've brought up all these other things, and they're just raw from all the stuff they've brought up, and because they tried to bypass the integration point of it.
So talk to us a little bit, because right now you are a Kambo practitioner. Yes. And Kambo for me is the one medicine that it was helpful and beneficial for me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have like this crazy call to me.
Yeah.
But I do see the benefit of it. So who is Kambo for? Who is Kambo not for? And tell us what it is and why someone would do it.
Well, it's peptides. I mean, it's a cocktail of biochemical compound and peptides is really what it is. It comes through the secretion from the back of a frog. It's non-psychedelic. In fact, you will never be more in your body.
Yeah, that's true. I will say that is true.
You will never be more aware of every cell in your body than when you're in Kambo.
My ears got hot.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first time I've ever experienced that sensation in my whole life. I'm like, why do my ears feel like they're on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when it travels through the body, you feel it. I mean, it has neuropeptides, neurotransmitting peptides.
So talk to us about how it's administered.
Well, it's put on the body through gates. The gates are little burn spots that we put on about the size of a incense stick. Mm-hmm. And we just take off the first layer. So just the first layer of the dermis comes off, and it feels like a little rubber band flick, but without the sting of the rubber band after.
Yeah.
It's very quick, and we open up the gates to get to a lymphatic system. And we want it to be able to pump through the body. We don't want it in the bloodstream, so that's why we only take off the first layer. And then we put what's called points on top, and that's the actual Kambo. And we put on the outside of the body so that once you have your purge, because it is a purgative, we're looking for laughing, crying, sneezing, farting, puking, pooping, shaking, passing out, all beautiful things. They do sound hard, but they on the other side of that, I mean, it's an amazing release, a reset. I tell people this is one of the best biohacks you can get into, because it is just a giant reset for the body and the mind. You let go of things with each one of these purges that you didn't realize that you were harboring, but we put it on the outside of the body. So once you have your purge, I can wipe it off, and then the effects come down within 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And the longest it'll let you feel that icky is 30 minutes.
Yeah.
After that, it'd just be taxing the body. There's no point. But yeah, one of the reasons you felt your ears get hot was because, again, neuropeptides, neurotransmitting peptides, it crosses the blood-brain barrier right there. And so you feel it. And you kind of feel like a cartoon character with your head expanding, contracting, like steam coming out. It's not really happening, but that's what it feels like. But each one of those, like, it passed, right? It didn't stay in your ears the whole time. It probably moved down into your stomach or into your intestines or something like that.
And just for clarity, Kambo is legal.
It is.
It is legal, right? And why would someone come to a Kambo session? Like, who is this for?
It's for so many people. If you're dealing with autoimmunes, physical ailments, inflammation, you need to reset your nervous system. You're stuck in fight or flight, to let go of trauma, to clean the body out. I mean, it's a great detox too. But really, I have a lot of people come through with depression, anxiety, mold overgrowth. I had a client actually the other day throw up black mold into her bucket.
Threw up black mold.
Black mold. And it has a very distinct smell that comes with black mold does, or mold itself. And most of my clients that have mold issues either have a really good sweat purge and it smells like mold coming out of them, or it is coming up in the bucket. So
it sounds like it's just like resetting the whole
system.
Everything, the whole system, right?
Yeah.
Is this for people, is it more for physical ailment or more of like psychological,
I'd say both.
Both.
Yeah, it doesn't, because a lot of the time those are connected. The body keeps the score. We know that when we feel something in our bodies, we actually feel it in the body before the mind registers it, sends the signal, gets up there. If the brain doesn't know what to do with it, it's going to put it back down in that organ, and then that's the program that's running in there. This happens so many times. The organ or whatever, wherever we're storing it, is going to go offline, and it's going to start causing physical ailments.
Yeah. What are the concerns, and who is this not for?
Oh, I have on my Kambo page, you can look at it. I have a list of contraindications.
What does that word mean?
It means people that shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Heart problems. If we're dealing with bipolarism, borderline personality, that can be a no-no. Like just different things like that. So it will list on there people that are pregnant.
Yeah.
It's a no-no. And so I have, every time I sit with somebody, they do a discovery call with me beforehand. And before they do the discovery call, they need to look at the contraindications to even get on the call with me. Because if you already know that you don't make it that list, there's no point to doing this call. But it's not for everybody, but it's for most people.
For a lot of people. Yeah. And one thing to share with us this, because I know that you recommend doing like 3 sessions over a month.
Yes.
Right. Why is that?
We have a cell turnover, and it's kind of like each cell is like I can get in there like an ice cream scooper, get in a little bit deeper every time before the new cells turn over and the new programming takes hold. So we want to get rid of as much as we can. And so you're going to see your best results with 3 in 30 days.
Cool. And what can someone expect on how they would feel, or what are the benefits of, let's say I sign up, I'm going to go work with Meg. We do 3 sessions over a month. What are the benefits of this?
I say the most common thing people tell me is, I feel like I just took off a weighted jacket that I didn't know I was wearing. My anxious feelings or thoughts aren't there anymore. I just feel calm all the time. Even when something hits my doorstep, it's like, oh, I can sort through this without freaking out. And then I've worked myself up into something, and now I can't even handle this small problem. It calms the brain and the mind, and it's just the body itself, to the point where you can think through things. You don't have to, as my dad would say, go ayohashke, like get all worked up on stuff. I mean, even this morning, like I said, this has changed how I parent. I think my oldest child has frequently said, Mom's not the same mom as she used to be. I am much more calm. My daughter dropped a jar of salsa this morning, and the glass shattered and it went everywhere. I was in the shower at this point. So she comes in and she's like, I need a Band-Aid. And I'm like, why do you need a Band-Aid? And she's like, my foot's cut open. I'm like, how's your foot? When we get there, I come out and she has started sweeping the salsa and the glass up to try to clean it up. Now I have to clean up the broom. And it's everywhere. She has just smeared
mom life.
Yes. And I think that can stress people out, or especially because I had a Kambo client this morning. Then I knew I had to be dressed for this before that Kambo client, so that I could go from there to here without, skipping a beat. And then also make sure my daughter got off to grandma so that she'd be watched. So there was a lot stacked against me this morning. And I think you can easily let your nervous system go offline there.
Yeah.
My first thought was, what an opportunity for me to be patient. I was thinking the broom needed to be cleaned because it was so dirty.
Yeah.
And then the dustbin as well. I didn't get to mop last week. What a great opportunity for me to mop right now.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to fight those thoughts, which I know sounds like, but it was alchemizing everything, every feeling, and also teaching Noah, it's just a jar of salsa.
Yeah. We
don't need to let it derail our entire day or our morning, or make it be so that I can't, this is the reason why I've had a bad day. This is, and it's so easy to be a victim.
Yeah.
Right?
I talk about this in my new book. It's switching from being reactive to responsive.
Yes.
And when you do responsive, the state you want to be in, that I call it triple C, which is calm in your body, confident in yourself to be able to handle the situation, right? And clear in your mind.
Yeah.
If I'm calm in my body, confident in self, and clear in my mind, there's not much that can rattle you.
Yes, and that's it. And I would attribute a lot of that to Kambo for me. Yeah. It is, and everything. I'm like, what an opportunity.
Yeah.
Again, failing forward there. I mean, I could be mad about the salsa, all of the things, but I failed forward. I also taught my daughter, like, we can clean things up. We're calm, confident women that can handle little things that are our doorstep. Mom doesn't have to explode just because something happened that I was not planning on, that was going to set me back. And and it was okay. Everything worked out.
My experience with Kambo is that it really helped me become more present. Yes. Right? You kind of get spiraled out in life, and you're ruminating, and you're anxious, and you're worried, and you're all these thoughts. And then Kambo, it like brings you right back into your body. Oh, like, whoa, I'm here.
You can't think about anything else.
Nothing but your body. Because it's very uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then you purge, and then you're like, and you're like, okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back in my body. Okay, great. And so I really enjoyed it for sure. It's, again, not psychedelic at all.
At all.
Right. It's very uncomfortable, but it's like this tool you can use to just kind of slap right back in your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it gives a mental clarity too, because we do have so many tools in our tool bag that we've learned already. And it's so hard to reach for them and use them in the moment that we want to use them. So we'll react, right? And be really reactive. But what Kambo is calming, it puts you there. So instead of reacting, you can say, oh, I have this tool. I can do this instead.
Yeah.
And so, and it is so easy to do after that because you've cleared off all the mental junk. And you didn't realize that by doing this purge or that purge, it was what was really fogging up your mind or your thought process or your ability to react the way you want to react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Share more too about your health journey too, because you look amazing.
Oh,
I've known you for a long time. This is the best you've ever looked.
Oh, thank you.
And you just had a birthday.
I did, 41.
41. And you legit look 10 years younger than you actually are.
Bless you.
Right. And your arms are shredded, right? You're in great shape.
Yeah.
So tell us more about what your health journeys look like, because it's noticeable difference. Like you've like leveled up, right? You look great. You look great. You're hot. Vibes going. You're in great shape. So tell us more about what other things did you change?
I will, and I attribute this to Kambo as well, because it is this reset. I realized, I'm eating right now because of this thing.
What do you mean?
Something emotional would hit my doorstep. And I'd reach for, let's use just cookies, for example.
Yeah.
So I'd reach for my cookie. Actually, if you really want to know what it was, I was addicted to runts.
Runts? Wait, is that like the raisin?
Yeah, no, not raisin. That's Raisinets. Runts are like the hard candies. They're like the bananas, the hearts.
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't thought of those in years.
Yeah, neither have I now. But I had a massive runt addiction at one point. Like I had a box in my car, nightstand, 3 in the cupboard, 1 in my purse.
Just emotional eating.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'd wake up in the night anxious and pop runts. Like, who does that? Like, but...
Dysregulated people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And so I started realizing that I was tying this to emotional stuff. So I started paying attention to, and Kambo helped me slow down and say, the only reason I want this right now isn't because I'm hungry. It's because I'm feeling this emotion in this certain situation.
And you want to avoid it, bypass it, distract yourself from it.
Yeah, I want a dopamine hit. I want something quick that's just going to make me feel good, right?
Yeah.
And so I was able to, and Kambo changed my taste buds.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily do that for everybody, but it can. Because again, a lot of the stuff that we put in our body is tied to emotions. And so we'll reach from we want to celebrate some. Well, we don't have to celebrate.
Well, I think the taste buds actually, I'm glad you brought this up because it made me think. So I went this is 2023. I was locked in on my diet for probably 4 months.
Yeah.
Like I was perfect. I didn't have one cheat meal, no alcohol, no dessert. And I was eating ribeye steaks and veggies and fruit. And all I ate was steak, veggies, fruit, and Greek yogurt. It's basically all I ate for 4 months. And then by the end of 4 months, it literally changes your taste buds. When I would eat fresh blueberries, I'm like, this tastes like candy.
Yeah.
Like it tastes like candy. And then I remember having I can't even remember what I had. I think I had a Nerds rope, there was a nerd rope thing.
Ugh.
And it made me sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, this tastes like toxins.
Yeah.
And so your taste buds actually do change. I'm like, holy cow, it's amazing. And once you kind of go that route, fresh fruit tastes like candy.
It does.
Yeah.
And that's what started for me.
Yeah.
It helped me get this mental clarity around what I was actually putting in my body. Then I saw food as medicine at that point.
Yeah.
And then I started really reading. I remember, I think I may have just been after an MDMA journey that I had done. I was reading labels and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, nothing in my house is real food. And I probably threw away thousands of dollars of groceries. Just garbaged it, was done. And I was like, I'm feeding my kids actual garbage. Like, what are their systems going to look like? What is their brains going to look like? What's going to happen here? And so then I realized I can't put that on my kids. So I would just educate them instead. I'd be like, we'd be at the store and they'd be like, we want to buy this. And I said, I don't choose to spend my money that way.
Yeah.
I spend my money a different way. Food is medicine. And so then I'd teach them what was all in this thing and this thing. Every time we'd make dinner, I was teaching them about what vitamins, minerals, everything that was being put in our body, where the protein was coming from. Like, what is this going to do for our hair, skin, and nails? Like, what is this really going to do for us?
And your kids are lucky because you're a phenomenal cook.
Oh, thank you.
You're a great cook.
I love cooking.
Yeah. Your the treats you make, everything's lights out.
Yeah. Well, I figured out like if I can make it taste good, my kids will want it. Even down to like my cookies, I make sure they're completely balanced with the sugars, the proteins, and the fat, so that it doesn't spike them.
Yeah.
They will just get a full rounded like protein.
When you inserted more well-rounded diet into your home, did you notice behavior changes with your kids?
Absolutely. Everybody's a lot more calm. It just seemed like things chilled out. Even me, like I was realizing like, wow, I am really just a lot more calm. And something that was interesting is our first Halloween after I changed everything. I think I changed everything in like March that year.
What year is this?
This was in 2018? 19. I mean, I was working out a lot. I had baby weight still on me at the end of 2018. When I had my daughter was early of 2018. And I remember thinking like, I am dialed in with my diet, everything. I'm tracking everything and I can't lose this baby weight. What's going on? And then changed my diet. And within 3 months, like everything had fallen off my body to the point where people were like,
are you okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you okay? What's wrong?
Because it was drastic. You were like, I remember seeing you and I'm like, Meg, do we need to like call someone? Yeah. And then you like flex and I'm like, oh, you're shredded. Like you're ripped. You're healthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm eating more now than I think I was even when I was like dialed in on every single thing, putting it into apps, tracking every single thing. I don't count a single calorie. I don't track my food. I just eat and I eat real food. Yeah. That's my only rule is eat real food. That's it. Yeah. And you can have as much as you want of it as long as it's real food because your body will know what to do with real food. Totally. It gets confused when we put chemicals in it and then it starts storing it in weird places or whatever we're putting in there that isn't real, right? I mean, even down to sugars, like refined sugars, that's not real food. Yeah. When we can use different things like coconut sugars or, other ways of sweetening things with just fruit. And that works too.
I think really changing your diet really makes a massive impact on just your whole experience of life, just the way you feel, your mood, everything. I want to transition a little bit because I want to ask you something more personal tell us your journey of motherhood.
Oh, that's been
and all the things you've learned from your sweet little angel, Noah.
Oh my gosh, Noah. I tell people all the time, if you're going to have a kid, you've got to have a Noah.
Yeah. Noah is an angel.
She is.
And she's like, seems like a child you'd see like from a movie or like in a billboard. She's just like this beautiful, glowing. She looks kind of like she's not even real.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, even down to like, she teaches me so many things too. Like we don't have a lot of rules in our house. Yeah. And that's partly because she's self-governed so well. But a lot of that too is that she's so receptive to just even any sort of critique. And I would never even call them criticisms. It's just like, hey, we could do it this way and feel like this, or we could do this. And she'll sit there and she's like, oh, I'd rather do that one. Yeah. Right. But like we have get curious before you get upset. That's our first rule at our house. Get
curious before you get upset. That's a rule I need to put in my own life.
Oh, I love that rule. Yeah. It's my favorite. And it comes down to what's the story, right? Because we're only upset because there's a story. And what's the reality of what's going on here? So like Noah's upset. I'll be like, oh, what a great opportunity for us to get curious. And that's my first thing I'll say. And she'll stop whatever emotion's going on there. I love it. So she will. And I'll say, what's the story? And she'll be like, the story is I'm not the smartest person because I messed up. Well, is that real, Noah? No. Are you a smart person? I'm very smart, Mom. Okay, so the story is that you're not smart, but that's not real, is it? No, that's not real. Okay, now shake your body. She'll shake her whole body. And let's move on.
So that's so brilliant because it reminds me of some of the most impactful work in my life from Byron Katie. And it's called The Work.
Yep.
So anytime you have a question, like you're stuck in story, right? I'm not smart.
Yeah.
Right. Question number 1, is that true? No. Question number 2, can you absolutely 100% matter of fact prove that it's true? Definitely not. Question number 3, how do you act and how do you feel when you believe that story? And how would Noah respond to that?
She'd say like, I feel sad. I don't feel good about myself.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah. And then the question 4 is, who would you be if that story didn't exist?
Yeah. I read that book because of you.
Did you?
Yeah. You recommended it to me.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I implement what I do with her.
So good. Imagine if you had that tool when you were a kid.
I say this all the time. Yeah. I'm like, good laws. If I had the parenting that I implement now, I would be far and beyond what I am right now. I'm so excited to see what Noah turns into because of the type of parenting I feel like I show up.
She's just going to transcend off the planet.
Oh my gosh, that'd be wild.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, because you're a business owner, stressful. Your mom, stressful, right? You've had, really big, impactful abuse in your life that you've healed, right? You've got a lot going on. What are your favorite ways to recenter, ground yourself that are simple, easy to do on a daily basis that keeps you aligned?
I take care of my physical health by food, making sure that how I eat, I'm very good about that. I like to move my body. When movement can look like anything to anybody, that grounds me a lot. I do love that. And sometimes it's just like a 1 mile walk, and that's okay too. Just need to move my body because it helps reset things. When I have emotions, I do get curious. Yeah. I've gotten really good at saying, what's the mirror here? What's the opportunity to grow? What can I do? How can I alchemize this? Even down to this morning, like I could have lost it, and I just, I can alchemize this. Yeah. Okay. What an opportunity. What an opportunity. Right. And so there's that helps ground me in. Noah does a great job. I mean, the other thing is we always say there's either two ways to do this. Well, one, I teach her that you need to have a lot of grace. If you're going to give other people grace and give them passes on things and say, oh, they messed, it's fine. You have to do that to yourself on the exact same level that you do it to them, rather than beating yourself up over and over and over and over, right? And we do that two ways. One of them is if it's a big mistake, and I don't believe that there are mistakes, there are opportunities to learn, we'll say, I made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. I can fix my mistake by, and I'm still a good person. Then I'll have her like wipe her shoulders or shake her body and move on.
The embodiment piece is big, because it's like, it really just shakes up the whole energy. That's smart. I haven't thought about that piece before.
It reminds me, and the reason why I implemented it is because dogs will shake. My dog, they don't hold on to stuff.
Yeah, they shake it off.
Yeah, they literally shake it off. And I was like, why am I not shaking this off? I'm going to start shaking this off. Yeah. So I shake it off. But if I don't have time to do that, and like I'm in a pinch, we'll say, Pobity Snurfik. And I love that, because even if I'm like starting to fall into like a self-destructive pattern or thought and be like, oh, that was so dumb. Why would I do that? And I'll say that out loud, and Noah catches me. She'll be like, Mom, Pobity Snurfik. And I'm like, Pobity Snurfik, Noah, you're right. And that helps just like move it along. And so that helps keep me grounded as well. And then just understanding that everything's an opportunity for growth and learning. Everything, every thing that hits our doorstep is a story, and it's a story that we can learn from. We can grow. Yeah. We can alchemize anything. Yeah.
I just picked up on what you said, but say it again.
Pobity's Nerfic.
Pobity's Nerfic. It's just watching the N and the P. Yep. Right. Pobity's Nerfic. Yeah. I love that.
I love it. It's easy.
You just kind of shake it off, make it silly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like, Pobity's Nerfic.
Yeah. Move on.
Yeah.
And one thing too I really admire about you too, Meg, is that I can tell you have a really special relationship with nature.
I do.
You're a big nature girl.
I do. I love nature.
Yeah. So when do you turn to nature, and what comes from you being deep nature?
I mean, I try to be outside at least once a day. Yeah. That just is so healing. Putting your toes in the grass, it just feels so good, right? Yeah. So I do try to be outside at least once a day, but I love turning to nature when I'm feeling something overwhelming or a problem I need to solve. This is like the EMDR of it, where it's the left, right, getting the brain online, right? And so I'll go and like hike and think of whatever the issue is and see if I can't work it out while I'm hiking, because then my brain's really going to solidify surrounding this with the left, right. I'm pretty intentional with how I do a lot of things. I'm even realizing this more so as we're talking. There's a rhyme and a reason to most of the things I do, but yeah, even down to my hiking. So I'll do that. I love the experience of realizing how small we really are and how most of this doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We put so much weight and credence into things that are just so, that's silly. Why would we even worry about that? I've had some near-death experiences in my life that I remember thinking when I was dead that what a human thought. Yeah. What a human thing to worry about. And I think that's carried over a lot in my life too, where I've thought, that's such a human thing to worry about. And it doesn't matter. And when you get out there in the grand nature of what is really there, we are so little and so insignificant in all of this, but yet so important at the same time. So it really helps balance that out in thinking, these human thoughts are fun.
I say significantly insignificant.
Yes, that's exactly what I would say too.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, Meg, it's been so inspiring to see you grow and expand. And it really feels like you're just like getting started.
I know. I love it.
First 40 years were just trial and error.
Yes.
Yeah. Experiments.
Yes.
Yeah. And now
They
you've
were
really
my
found-
failing forward.
Yeah. So if someone is feeling called to Kambo
Yeah.
and they want to get in touch with you,
Yeah.
how should they do that?
DM me on my Instagram. Just send me a message. We'll get you onto a discovery call and decide if this is what it looks like for you. I go over what is the session going to look like? What are you going to feel like? Who's it for? How many sessions would you need? What are you wanting to sit with Kambo for? Things like that. And so we really get to the root of some things. It's a free 30-minute call. I love to educate in that. And then we'll get you on the schedule if it feels right.
Amazing. And what's your Instagram?
Kambo with Meg.
Spell it for us.
KAMBOWITHMEG.
Meg, I love you. You're
Love you
amazing.
too.
Thanks for being such a great friend. I'm inspired by you. And I know that the best work is in your future.
Me too.
Thanks,
Thank
Meg.
you.